Hello and welcome to HGC North America, where we are rounding our final week of Standard League play here, ladies and gentlemen, which means that Tempo Storm or Heroes Hearth Esports will in fact be able to punch their ticket to Jönköping as the #1 seed in North America at the midseason brawl. I am Dreadnought. With me as always is going to be Jayhow up here. And Jayhow, after all the wild craziness we've got out of North America out of the past couple of weeks, what are your expectations for this weekend?
Well, I mean, it seems like we've gotten quite a bit of clarity here in what's actually been a pretty tremendous North American season here in the early part of the year. We still got a little bit more clarity to go. Obviously, Team Freedom has had some highs and lows. We're going to see if they can round things out on a high after a strong weekend last weekend. And as you said, later today, Tempo Storm, they still have, look, it doesn't matter how you win, 1 win, 2 wins, you win, you're in. So we'll have a lot more clarity today. But I think rounding out here in this 10th week, it's just been a good season so far. We're going to see how it closes out.
Yeah, and the competitiveness here for North America, especially looking at part 2 of Phase 1, has only gotten much more tense, and the standings are going to, in fact, reflect that as we bring those up here. Tempo Storm, as we have said, sitting at the top still with the superior win-loss record, been the most cutthroat team here in North America, and they're going to be looking to achieve that once again. But what we're also looking at is Team Freedom. If they're able to kind of show that consistency, those kind of positive signs of life that we have gotten from them earlier out of phase #1.
When you talk about Team Freedom, there's nothing quite like when we were at the Western Clash, Dreadnought. Yes, they went 0-4, but before that started, every North American team, every European team that was scrimming them, all came to us with the same thing. This is a strong team. This might be the team to beat. Team Freedom did not live up to that. So they are well respected in the HGC community from their competition. But they still have to find a way to be like, look, we're going to live up to kind of what everybody else thinks that we can be. So they're still a very good team. But again, if they can close it out here on a 3-0, it'd be a good statement.
I said it once before, and I'm going to say it again. Potential is one of the most offensive things that you can call a team. And Team Freedom is a team full of just that, the potential. We're going to bring up the schedule here for today so you guys can, figure out what you can expect, but also what you have already seen here coming out of Europe. We had Zealots taking on Team Dignitas. Team Dignitas keeping up the tear there, 13-1 so far throughout this season. Then Tricked Esports took on Method, a very, very tense and competitive back-and-forth series between those two. We round out today in North America. Tempo Storm taking on Gale Force Esports. But first up, again, is Freedom. If they can show signs of life here against Simplicity, who has done very much that when looking at the success they had last week in a 6-0 run. More importantly, the 3-0 win they got over Gale Force Esports and how dominantly they were able to get that. We knew this is a team, when their back's against the wall, you got to look out for them, and they brought out the claws last weekend.
Hopefully they watched a little bit of you earlier. Tricked brought the old Diablo, Medivh, Diva, APOC, Wombo combo. I don't know. Either way, Simplicity, yeah, they have looked a lot better. I mean, what we've seen from them, we saw the Prismat, kind of coming in, trying to take over that secondary role, that secondary melee role. It's come in. They talked about how much he's contributed to the team. All of a sudden, it didn't look good right out of the gate. It's coming together. It's coming together. Maybe he's kind of that secret element that can get him over the hump.
Yeah, it's really cool to watch Prismac kind of synergize with the rest of the squad again, because he is one of the more experienced members that we have here at an international kind of scale when looking at the entirety of HGC North America. Come back in, work out for the group here of Simplicity. We'll see if they still have it today. We're going to bring up the battlegrounds to figure out where game #1 between these two teams will in fact take place. Battleground bans coming out from Team Freedom, removing Battlefield of Eternity. Simplicity, ridding Abraxas hold out the standard for them. And we're going to kick things off game 1 here, Jayhow, on Volskaya Foundry.
It's something that we've seen starting to rise in popularity here in North America. And you look at the way that we saw Simplicity draft last week, Dreadnought. They're playing around prismaticism, whether he's on the Dahaka or the Blaze, and maybe even a Sonya. But it's also been the high priority on Zuna's hero. We saw him on the Junkrat. He even came into the interview. He's like, look, I think I played it once in Hero League. Sure, I can play it. But keeping him on heroes that are a little bit more relaxed, not necessarily a heavy dive. Those are the heroes that, when we've seen them, they've had low success and he's died a lot. When you start to play on the more ranged heroes, more stable heroes, we'll see how it comes in. So I like the change in draft that we've seen over the last few weeks. I feel that's been the most contributing factor, and this gives you that opportunity to play a double backline.
I agree. It's something that we got to be looking at here for Simplicity. A lot of the kind of positive trends out from them as a unit was very much whenever Zuna was able to get on those. I don't want to even call them so much only the backliners, because before we got a bit of a hybrid between the two, but definitely he's playing on the safer route here for the squad. Team Freedom, though, Want to take away the Medivh not wanting to deal with that? Will Simplicity rid of the Maiev? Stick to the standards here. You know, Europe, as we talked about, has been willing to break away from that mold a little bit more, but North America, you know, it seems like we're still sticking to the Medivh and the Maiev. Way too powerful.
Well, that was a snap first pick Stitches Dreadnought. That is not something I think I expected here. That is a very high priority Stitches. It's something that we've seen Team Freedom run on the likes of Tomb of the Spider Queen, and it's kind of like, look, you had a tough time engaging. You had a tough time figuring out where it goes. I think when it comes to Volskaya, it's literally like fish in a barrel because they're going to be on the control point. You can just kind of throw that hook in there. Maybe you get the setup. There's got to be something to this. You don't come out first pick Stitches for nothing.
Yeah, but we need to also look at the history of Team Freedom. Without a doubt, they're one of the most comfortable of moving into the Stitches route. Diva is one thing that immediately you got to be asking yourself if that is going to be picked and paired with this duo. But also, a lot of our criticisms during, I want to call it the downfall, but I feel like that's even too harsh. But definitely some of the stumbling, you know, kind of bumps in the road moment for Freedom is when we look at the front line, right? And the fact that we're willing to see an adjustment to a first pick already from them, immediately I go, that kind of makes me excited because it shows that they're putting that effort, putting that thought process into how are they going to be able to control the front lines. But at the same time, a first pick Stitches, is that really the time or the place to get this level of a mix-up?
I just wonder, I mean, Team Freedom, there's an outside shot. I think they can move around in the standings, but it requires a whole lot of stuff we don't have time to get into right now. Varian Tyrande, here, now we're talking. All right, this is what I've been waiting for, Dreadnought. I know that you're more skeptical of Tyrande than I am, but I love me some Tyrande. You get a taunt directly onto the front. It's kind of, I mean, it's an easy setup, right? You get a Lunar Flare directly on top of. This is actually one of the circumstances where I like going Lunar Flare build at level 1 over the Owl build. You stack that up, you get that percentage-based damage against a Garrosh in particular. Remember, it stacks up, I think it's 3% every time you hit. It stacks up more and more, and you get that percentage on top of that, not percentage-based damage towards Garrosh, but percentage-based damage according to the stack. It's free stacks. Taunt's available pretty much every time Lunar Flare is available. Taunt's a little bit longer of a cooldown, but it's always going to be there.
It's got all the kill potential in the world, but much like most variant compositions and most Tyrande compositions, Jayhow, there is still an element missing from this composition, and that might be wave clear. And in fact is something that I would expect Simplicity to look to capitalize on. I don't disagree with you. It's going to bring the fight. If a hook comes in, the odds of a target surviving near non-existent. Even with the cleanse coming in, the cooldown timing around those, it's going to be a little bit too lethal. But if you mess up, especially if the momentum falls against you with this playstyle, it suddenly becomes very difficult to come back from, especially if we see something like that Junkrat being committed to. Phoenix will be, you know, in this rotation for Simplicity, able to make up for that wave clear. The Uther, not so much, but it shows the consideration towards that early kill potential. One of the best, if not the best warrior at not only the early game pressure, but also that single target blow up kind of denial.
Yeah, Tyrande, she has the Hunter's Mark she can apply. That's a 20, it's a vulnerability countered by the Uther armor. So I think ended up coming out of that, you get a positive or negative, I guess, depending on how you're looking at it, 10 coming out if you're in favor of the Tyrande there, trading out in terms of armor. Calculations are always fun.
Yeah, you know, caster math, there's a reason most of us try and avoid it there, Jayhow.
I mean, Hunter's Mark and
numbers just don't look good when they aren't
Garrosh's armor. I mean, you start getting into calculus at that point, and I don't even want to go there. Kel'Thas! This is a Dignitas style here and a Hanzo. So we're talking armor reduction potentially at 7. You've got single target blow. I mean, we've got hook, we've got taunt, we've got stun, we've got gravity lapse. I mean, Dreadnought, we are in for fireworks, or with Team Freedom, sometimes you might just see them just kind of wait.
Yeah, just kind of wait. Hang out a little bit here. The one thing I will say, Simplicity normally against this playstyle, you want to Tassadar as fast as you can. But at this point in time, Tassadar plus already the Uther, plus already the double support being committed to with the Phoenix Hypercarry, I mean, that does not look like it's going to be that good. So then, if you aren't going to go in that direction, who is somebody with wave clear that can survive this much threat? He has the wave clear.
You can stay far back.
But he can't survive the threat. That's the one thing that I was wondering if they would be willing to commit to. I feel like, without a doubt, making up for the lack of wave clear on the composition of Freedom is where Simplicity has to go, because there is no deterrent left to be like, how can we keep this single target alive with the Medivh taken off the table?
look, we're on the last weekend. Sometimes you might see a few things wild here. Team Freedom coming out with this composition. I've never seen it before, Dreadnought, but I am excited nonetheless. I mean, obviously we've seen the elements of this, but I think adding the Hanzo in there, they do commit to the Junkrat. That's a very safe pick. It contributes to the wave clear, but as you said, if he gets hooked, he's probably not making it out of there at all.
Yeah, probably not going to. But, you know, kind of inversely, another thing that we haven't been talking about is that is a solo support Sharonda, which generally, outside of auto attack, sustain, and even then, in that type of circumstance, is not optimal. Yeah, she does have the, you know, the cleanse on a stun targets at 4, which in theory can be a superior version to cleanse. But let's be real here, ladies and gentlemen. You've ran it in your solo queue. It does not trade out in the same way as a normal cleanse does. It does not typically get the value.
Quick.
Yeah, it does not normally get that kind of trade. So what I'm trying to say here is this still suffers not only in wave clear, but heavily with survivability and counter initiation. If they fail at getting that one shot, one kill right out the gates, they're constantly just going to be cycling away. Taronda cannot deal with the damage output of even, let's be real, a solo Junkrat, not even counting the Phoenix, who's going to be coming in with that salvo.
Well, the one thing is, I really wonder, Stitches has ways to keep himself alive. His E is on a very long cooldown, but there are talents you can go into. But as you said, they lack wave clear. Shitting where the slam build at level 1, you get the bonus damage that can help alleviate some of the wave clear. So if they're all in on the slam build, then you know that it's fully committed to one target, one kill. The Uther can help defend against some of that, so we'll see how that goes. This is a stylistic matchup I was not prepared for. I was not prepared for this, but I am all of a sudden, like right out of the gate, I'm like, I love this.
I mean, I'm always down for some Kel'Thas. That's a hero that, you know, I miss a little bit in my heart when he kind of disappeared post the nerfs long ago with the old chain bomb adjustments. We've got game 1 here between Simplicity and Team Freedom, and we'll see if the Stitches, you know, kind of all-in one-trick composition has what it takes.
I'm ready for it. We're going to kick things off here on the left side. It is going to be that of Simplicity and Blue. They are undefeated since last weekend. We'll see if they can keep that up, as it will be Hosty on a Malfurion. Interesting. K1 Pro on the Uther. King Caffeine, of course, he's going to be... Wait, everybody's all over the place. So King Caffeine on Junkrat. You know, I don't know what's happening anymore. Zuna's going to be on Garrosh. Zuna's like, look, the only way I know that I can avoid dying is being on a hero with a ton of armor. Prismat, he's going to be on Phoenix. Let's have some fun today.
I'll share a little insight onto this in a moment. I have just a little bit. Team Freedom in the red, ladies and gentlemen. Again, with that kind of all-in composition, Collusion is going to be on Stitches. Repping that Stitches. Love it. Lutano is going to, in fact, be our Hanzo. Still sticking to the norm here. Zugrug will be our Taronda player this game. Nasmus normally going to be in the front line, still sticking to it with that variant. And we got Yoda on Kel'Thas.
You know, I will say, I think if we're looking at who's swapping out, Collusion used to be a tank main. Lutano used to be alive. He's not anymore.
Yeah.
But Collusion used to be a tank main until last year, so there is some, I guess, possibility there. Collusion just busts out some old school tank strats.
And I will say that this composition is not, you know, a kind of out of nowhere composition. I was lucky enough to be able to play. I was actually playing with King Caffeine last night, and he was talking about this composition. They didn't know if they were going to bring it out this weekend with the, you know, kind of low impact standing situation they find themselves in. King Caffeine was talking about a kind of all-in Junkrat composition. I don't know if they'll bust it out, but you know, the Rich build, I think he was hinting at the Rich build with the shotgun approach post 16. I think that's what we're going to see. It's all in on him. He dives the backline, you get the Divine Shield, and he just one-shot somebody with the grenades.
But the thing is, like, what opportunity are you going to get against this amount of CC?
Yeah. You know what? That's one of those we'll find out type situations. Zuna trying to get the rebuttal here on this invade, going to get gravity lapsed up. There is the kill rebuttal for Freedom, finding themselves not only the turret, but also a nice another kill. K1 Pro trying to kite out. Good dodge onto the hook, but Lutano not letting him out there with that Stormbow. Locks down a second.
You know, we do get the Owl build coming out here. One of the reasons why also I like going into the potential Lunar Flare build is that after you hit 10 of those, you no longer have a mana cost. And after you hit a bunch of Owls, you no longer have mana issues. And it's one of the things that, as you talked about with Taronda, not only does she struggle in the sustain, but if you are trying to sustain, remember, every time you auto attack, you get the cooldown reduction on your heal ability. And if you start spamming those, especially with this one, you get the extra cooldown reduction.
But we're mixing things up at level 4 here for Nasmus. That's no taunt one-shot composition.
What?
This is Twin Blades of Fury variant
hold
coming
on.
out.
No. I'm sorry, Dreadnought. I've got to correct you on that one. It is not Twin Blades. It is Wind Blades, my friend.
We got the Wind Blades out. The support camp going to be started. Zuna looking for the flip, flipping Collusion back. Nice follow-up route there coming out from the team, but the supporting is going to be real. The Math Armor coming in. The shred onto Zuna after the the kill there, excuse me, onto Stitches. Biotic emitter yet to get picked up. Zuna able to make it in, but the gravity lapse damage on the Cap. He's got the concussion blast. Oh, look at that chain bomb. The damage is going to be there. 1-for-1 trade between those teams.
You know, you could actually hear him in the distance. I need healing.
I need healing, team.
It just like tailed off at the end as he flew away.
With the double support composition, the fact you're still begging that's a feels bad moment. Team Freedom gonna go ahead and move up, take a couple of percentage for themselves.
If only they had taunt.
I was gonna say, normally you'd expect the taunt composition to be able to get the kill there, but not with this. Again, Twin Blades variant being broken out. Stun gonna land onto Zuna. Hook, not gonna be thrown out yet for collusion.
Zuna and team, they're progressing forward. They do have that healing emitter there as they drop back. You know, double support, might as well add a triple in there when that comes in. Zuna trying to set up. That's going to be the body blocking by Collusion. It's going to save Zugrug, but will it come at the expense of Collusion? It does, and Zugrug, nice knockback. King Caffeine's like, you know what? You're still not making it out of here. Come back.
I just want to say, so far on the MVPs of the role swaps right now, I definitely got to give it over to Hosty, #1 on the Malfurion. I feel like his roots have been absolutely on point. And then King Caffeine on the Junkrat. That concussion mine, getting that kind of isolation. Big plays there from him, showing how offensive he can be there with that shot.
I mean, he literally is like, you know, I'm jumping to the enemy side of the map because I don't think you can deal with this, Yoda.
Yeah, that's the type of damage we're going to expect here all game from Caff on that Junkrat. 50% and counting over control point A here. Azuna being the man defending it out. Junkrat looking to make the rotation down while the 5-man of Freedom are going to be here. Small time frame advantage. Hook combo. It's going to come out. Lunar Flare lands, but the warp actually coming out in time.
A cleanse was clutch, and now Nasmus, he's in the backside with maybe not Wind Blades on that one, but you could see he was trying, did go the heal on his auto attacks, but ripped Twin Blades. With one of the parts of the minor rework with Varian is they reduced his base auto attack damage, which coincidentally affects his Twin Blades, and it's much more difficult to win with Wind Blades.
It's kind of awkward how that works out, huh?
Feels bad.
Yeah, pressure now towards this middle front wall. Standard rotation when looking at the objective itself here with that protector. Able to take it out. Do we see the cycle towards the top half? We do. Now concentration towards the well. Standard Volskaya play coming out from Simplicity, other than obviously the heroes which the players are on. The rotations and the map itself, Jay Hal, it's still sticking to standard there. Something's normal here at HGC.
I mean, I guess if we're going to call it that today, if this is what I can expect throughout the day, I better be seeing a Butcher. That's all I know.
Got to get a Butcher somewhere. Yoda trying to track him down. Hook's going to land onto Hosty. Nice healing coming out from K1 Pro. The flip over onto Yoda, though. No gravity lapse going to be thrown out. The damage is going to be there. Another kill here. 6-3 for Simplicity. Nice use of the passive there, but Zuna finds himself another groundbreaker.
I think he tried to get the toss right as we saw, and it's hard to call these names. I guess Lutano's still on Hanzo right as he used that natural agility over. I mean, I'm sitting there, I'm like, wait a minute.
Right.
I'm looking over, I was like, I got to double check before I say this. Okay, that is Lutano on Hanzo.
Yeah, no, it's one of those, we work, I don't know, reasonably hard at being like, even if we can't see them on the map, can we see the player's name whenever on those heroes? And now you're like, wait a minute, Zuna on Garrosh, Hosty on Malfurion. What is my brain supposed to do in these situations? When it comes to heroics, though, Jay Hal, we didn't get too spicy. No Planet Cracker, no Divine Storm.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah, Simplicity, they're willing to throw out the bamboozle here, but when it comes to the picks, but again, this is the classic, what I'm going to call the King Caffeine Junkrat strategy. Just because originally when he posed it, he was like, yeah, I just might go on Junkrat. Not like this is going to be an actual thing we're willing to run. Prismatic combo. Yeah, this is one. Yeah, no warping. Gravity lapse behind it. He's outie.
I feel bad.
For what?
I look terrible.
I mean
you're sitting there, you get hooked in,
you
get hit.
From downtown.
Nasmus, he's like, I got to heal up off these minions. Just buying enough time for the hook to get over?
Yeah, that was what it was, the rotation and the hook over. That was, I mean, it was a kind of clever setup there for Freedom.
I mean, Stitches all day. Get in my belly. No, Shadow Stalk obviously gives you that extra attack speed when you do auto attack after that. Gives you that cooldown reduction on your heals that you will desperately need. That's one of the few things that you can do as you get later into the game. It's on a pretty short cooldown, so when you do get into those fights, obviously that's a really good tool for you to use. Again, I think the biggest problem is, Dreadnought, it's just, is it enough if you're on a Tyrande? Because heals do not come as well as you want it.
J-How, at this point, I feel like compositional
analysis.
analysis.
He missed!
Yeah, Gravity Lapse not connecting there is definitely a huge setback for Team Freedom. One of the, honestly, the reasons whenever we look at these type of compositions, look at that trade. Oh my gosh. Nasmus is an absolute monster on that variant.
It's going to make you change your mind by the end of this game.
What do you mean? I am always for
no,
Twin
not you. I mean,
Blades.
to the fans. To the
All
fans.
right. Twin
to the
Blades
fans.
is one of my few, hey, what about Twin Blade variant here? Compared to, you know, Tyrande, that's one of those not even once type deals here from the old Dreadnought.
Well, they got Junkrat down there.
Wins the trade. I mean, it took a Lutano on top of it, but, you know, I'm still going to give that prep work over to Nasmus.
Oh, yeah. 100%. He almost 100 to 0'd him. Going to buy a little bit of time for Collusion to go there. Gravity Lapse. Collusion's going to be thrown back in. Shadow Stalk enough to try and keep the heals up onto Collusion.
Nice.
But Zuna, three-person taunt. He's going to get knocked back, but he doesn't make it out of there alive.
Yeah, Prismat able to get the warp out, but Hanzo tracking it down with that scattering arrow. There's going to be the damage. K1 Pro trying to be the Uther on a mission. He was on a mission, but sadly, the results are just death.
You know, I will say this, Team Freedom, you know, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like me thinking too much about this, but Team Freedom has always kind of been that hit or miss on when they're pulling the trigger. This is what happens when pressure is off of your shoulders, when confidence is okay, because you're out here, you know that, look, we're settled in for the playoffs, we're going to do this, they're having a little bit of fun, right? But the manner in which they're playing it, can I get this all the time, Team Freedom?
I agree with you. You know, that kind of, I want to say almost, you know, risking failure in a couple of the initiations and moments. Even I would say, you know, maybe the Dragon's Arrow was a bit ambitious on it, but even that play style, to be willing to initiate through that and then get that kind of wombo hook, that synergy demanded on that play style, I would like to see more of. Turret's going to be dropped after that flip over onto Nasmus. Twin Blades not going to keep alive, but the two-man Gravity Lapse is enough to get Hosty. Zugrug knocked back into the fray there as we see the Riptire coming out from King Caffeine. Divine Shield's going to connect, but all of Simplicity need to retreat. The hook on to, I believe this is Prismat. Gravity Lapse as well. Damage is there. 3-for-1 trade in favor of Freedom.
Oh, Lutano, get you some more, buddy. Get you some more. Zuna's going to go in. He's going to get the flip back. That's going to be Zuna. Oh, another hook is going to land into the Lunar Flare. Did they got another one?
Lutano. Cap's got this all day.
Lutano.
Here we go.
Give me that bank shot.
Here we go.
He missed.
Give me the Junkrat laugh somewhere.
Oh!
Didn't get the concussion mine out. Turret laid down to make sure all the, fort damage not going to hit anybody of note. Rest of the percentage achieved here for Freedom. They're going to round the 16s, take out the top 4, and have the Protector behind it. Likely going to be a pretty big spike in favor of Freedom now. You know, normally this is where I go on about compositional weaknesses, about lack of sieging capabilities, but honestly, ladies and gentlemen, all I have to say is enjoy the show. We'll see what they can make happen with this.
Dude, this is entertaining. I mean, this is wild. It's again, the composition, but the way that they're playing it is so much fun right now. I mean, this is what Heroes, like when you're playing with your friends and stuff, this is what it's all about right here. This is what I love. I mean, this makes me want to go home right now. I'm actually going to take my headset off, go back to our computers in our office, play a little bit. I'll get back to you, Dread.
Yeah, you know, I wish, man. I wish. As long as you promise not to play any Butcher.
What?
It's like the only rule in this house, you know?
Okay, so I can play Tyrande. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dreadnought, for that that allowance there.
Freedom cycle, take out the mid fort. Twin Blades Varian doing work on bottom, doing work now on Prismat as he pretty much just got 100 to 0. Owl. Man, not going to connect there. You can see that shattering throw coming online for Nasmus and pretty much one-shots Prismat.
It's one way to deal with shields. We'll see how it continues to pay off here. Is this...
Oh, nice route.
That hook. He barely sidestepped that. Remember, Phoenix has a large hitbox. He has, I think he's tied for the largest in the game. He's up there. He's got the same size as Diablo. He's a big body. He's an easy hook target.
Machine gun unleashing here towards that keep. Zuna moving up. Still no 16 to be found for Simplicity for some time.
Yoda was trying to get one extra E off. He ended up gravity lapsing into the bush there.
Caffeine and friends, they're getting a bit ambitious without endless nades. you know, Junkrat doesn't really become that big of a threat around those poke battles.
We're about to find out if we get shotgun build, by the way. I mean, we're almost at 16, Dread.
I was rumored it was shotgun build, so that we'll find out.
I'd be excited. I mean, that's playmaking like crazy.
Again, this conversation was not like a, yo, what do you guys run? This was very casual. We're just playing. Like, yeah, I might run Junkrat. Like, whatever. I was like, oh, okay, you know, thinking if we were going to get some jokes there. Not the case. Hold up, though. Flip on to Nasmus. Warlord challenge going to be thrown down. Nasmus, thankfully, is going to be taking that challenge, actually trading up into Zuna, almost killing him. Salvo goes down, ice block used, and there is now a Hosi in between all the members. He gets Divine Shield and Twilight Dreams out. K1 Pro ends up falling. Now we got Cap with the flank on that Riptire.
Nasmus will not die on this variant. He's going to die now, but it took a long time. That Riptire almost came in. The concussion mine just barely evading that gravity lapse from Yoda, and there he goes. He's going in. Here comes the shotgun. King Caffeine.
You know, that's the beauty of shotguns. Not all the bullets are going to land there, mate, you know, but he went for it. Flip over.
Mad respect, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see it coming. Oh, there's another hook. There's no Divine Shield to save you this time. Goodbye. As Hosty sees, oh my goodness, Collusion. Please, I told you guys, Collusion used to be one of the most underrated tanks that we had here. The old Astral Authority days, those days when he was around.
Look at that. Stun gonna land. Nice ground breaker. Buying a bit of time for Zuna. He doesn't go commit to the flip yet. He does, but ends up throwing him back. Keep achieved here now for freedom. They're gonna go ahead and gorge Zuna back. Collusion has literally 0 mana. The stun combo going down. They get the kill, but I feel like for sure that could be a kill. Dragon's Arrow is not going to connect. Prismatic comes in with a salvo. Zugrug looks him in the eyes, says, not today. Hunter's mark, couple autos, and the kill comes out before any shots are even fired.
You don't need mana, Dreadnought, when they're all dead.
Yeah.
Clearly. Is calculated. We're looking at a 3-level lead for Team Freedom, 18 kills to 8. This might be the beginning of Twin Blades new meta. That's all I know.
What if it was not new meta? What if it was meta from beginning? We just, you know, we're confused about what version of variant we needed to be playing.
I mean, the whole thing is that somehow in all this, because everything dies so fast, Kael'thas actually has the least damage on the team. But it's because everything's died. I mean, literally the combo of Hanzo and then a hook, all that stuff. Yoda's like, guys, stop killing them so fast. I would like to do some damage myself.
Yeah, everybody else, and when you create the vulnerability, even Stitch's Slam is something to look out for, especially as we, you know, get the later stages into the Slam build.
Ooh, is he holding Hungry Stitches?
Oh, please tell
He's
me
gotta
that's a
be.
yes. And we just see, you know, here's 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh, this might
5.
be it. This might be the moment.
Okay, here it is. Gravity Lapse goes. Collusion. He's looking for the play. Flip over onto Yoda.
There's 1. There's 2.
3.
There's 3.
4.
There's 4. Give me the Lunar Flare. Oh, is it down?
Warlord's challenge gets thrown out. King Caffeine able to survive for a moment. The salvo? How did Simplicity? They just all went into the stomach of Collusion, came out and were like, yeah, we've been to the belly of the beast and we doesn't afraid.
What? What did they say?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I broke JL.
We doesn't afraid.
Yeah, we doesn't afraid of anything. One day, J-Hal will get the memes, you know? We'll figure it out.
All I know is we got a Twin Blades upgrade.
Oh, baby.
Frenzy.
Look at that flank from Nasmus. Coming in with that upgrade, he's like, yeah, we got the damage. Here we go.
Upgrade with 2 Ds as he's going in here. Zuna, he's in the backside. He's going to get the taunt, but that is not where he wants to be. Lutano, he's trying to continue to make plays. He's going to get rooted, but Nasmus going in. No taunt available. That's going to be a port.
Whoa.
Oh, my goodness.
That hook, man, just barely. You could feel the air on that one for sure, on that whiff kind of going by. 40% achieved. Team Freedom. It feels like at this point it's more of when do they want their protector and when are they done picking on Simplicity.
I'd say it should be a game-ending protector after this. They're sitting there. There's going to be the Gorge in.
Dragon's Arrow.
Zugrug's not even moving. He's just chilling. D-Shield's going to be
here's
there.
The
This
shotgun.
might turn around.
Here's the shotgun, boys. There's one. Who wants a second one? Cap's coming in. All right, quickly Nasmus with the Twin Blades, immediately making them second guess that, and the Twilight Dream being thrown out. Nice damage there from Hosty, or excuse me, Lutano as well over the wall.
The upgrade on the swords. 2 Ds for a double dose of swords. That's what they call Twin Blades. This is all of a sudden a protector. You know, what looked like it could have been a casual ending for Team Freedom to just, look, we're going to push out bot lane, keep them at bay, we'll get the protector, we'll end. They overstepped just a little bit. Now all of a sudden we've got Simplicity. They'll get a protector here. We're looking at 17 minutes in. Now they're at level 20. That bottom fort's not going to be for long. They might be able to make a play towards the keep.
Figure out what they want to do here. No matter what, it is a power spike that I don't think Simplicity even expected to find themselves in. Being able to claim a majority of this percentage.
They could be taking the wall, but...
Or you could play Ring Around the Rosie, okay? Ask me, okay, serious question. Can you tell me how many times you've gone around in circles while, capturing point C? Because I want to say the answer is definitely less than Simplicity.
Yeah, definitely less than Simplicity.
You probably didn't have as much fun capturing this point as they have had.
Ow.
Yeah, that was... At least Cap for a moment there. He got both the heals from the supports, both the Qs thrown down just to make sure.
See if we get a hook in. We're going to see if we get a hook in. The Owl's going to come out, give him vision, 97%. You got a blind hook. See if you can find him.
Collusion, sniffing around, goes for it. Not going to find it there. Phoenix gets in along with Malfurion. Protector online for Simplicity. See what it can make happen. A lot of damage already on the Nasmus.
Wow. I mean, that protector is already down to 60%. Tyrande is not long. Here comes the Riptire. It's going to be in the back. Oh, no, it's going to get taken down.
Still pursuing, ignoring the fort almost entirely. K1 Pro nearly dying with this dive. Warlord challenge with plus the Indomitable. Zuna falling low, but the Divine Shield last second plus the W ends up getting the heals out. They keep him alive.
That is a god tier play that he just made. He was about to get in that belly, snap that Indomitable, hit the big a taunt, and then all of a sudden that came in at the end and they get the kill.
Oh my, Simplicity holding on at the very end of this, in stages of this game. 42 seconds still till Kel'Thas is going to make his way back. Front wall's been taken down. Junkrat's got pretty good siege capabilities along with the double support. This is fine for Simplicity if they're going to try and, kind of post up around this keep.
Hook is down now, so they've got about 13, 12 seconds and counting right now, so they can go in. K1 Pro, he's going to hit. Here comes the shotgun.
K1 has the opportunity to come back with that redemption, so that's not a problem. Hook out. Ooh. Gorge 1, not going to use anymore. No Divine Shield. Phoenix, can he make it out? The cleanse? And he does.
Ooh, K1 Pro, though, went very far forward. The toss out into the fray. Zuna is making plays. Dragon Arrow is going to hit on multiple people. King Caffeine and team are still going. Garrosh, that's the Indomitable. He's turning around. He's like, let's fight. I got the taunt here.
But then he ended up flipping the minion, not able to get a hero in that type of situation. Full retreat now for Zuna. Look at the flank there up from Nasmus. He's not going to full collapse on this. Zuna's the only prey now. Hook's going to come out. Hosi falling low. He's going to be connected. Ice block force, but the damage coming out from Lutano. Concussive mine from King Caffeine, the one true Junkrat here.
Ooh, but maybe the one true Malfurion. That he's like, look, casual ice block, casual moonfire to make sure I don't take any more damage on the way out. Throws up the deuces, walks the other way.
One of the scariest things as a Malfurion ice blocking a Stitches hook is trying to judge how fast past your model can you cancel it before it's not going to pull your character still. I would argue Hosi waited a little bit longer than necessary over that last one, but without a doubt, one of those kind of tense moments. Their hook not going to land for Collusion. Is this the all-in Hail Mary?
They're just running it down right now.
I mean,
double flame strike.
Riptire out.
Collusion's trying to walk forward, but Collusion's about to eat a ton of damage here.
Yo.
There's one.
Cap has to go for the big play. He's got to go for the shotgun. 90% and counting. Here he goes. Shotgun Junkrat. Here we go, boys. And not going to have the fireworks necessary. Game going over to Team Freedom.
When all else fails, run it down bottom. 5 versus 4. Now that's a start. That is a start to the day here, as it is now confirmed. Twin Blades here in North America.
100% win rate.
I mean, what else can... There is no argument to be had anymore. Twin Blades.
It's the way to go, ladies and gentlemen. As we take a look at some of the numbers and some of the talents there, in case you wanted to figure out, how do you Twin Blades as good as Nasmus did over the last game?
I'm impressed.
I'm glad we got the Twin Blades. Honestly, I would have been sad if we got that composition. We get the unique, we're going to bring out something wild, and then we go with here's our standard lockdown one-shot composition. Here's the Gray Mane, Kel'Thas, plus the double CC lockdown. It was like, no, we're going to pick it, but no, it's not for the crowd control. We're still going for the auto attack damage. It's going to get a little bit wild.
Next up, Butcher charge into Tyrande stun. It's over. You know they don't live, though, right?
Out of the
You
world.